Hello everyone, welcome to the Ozark Outpost. This is Global War 85, Operation Eagle, U.S. Global Command 4.4. Okay, the Americans' basic intelligence of +7 takes them up to 39. Easy striking distance for DEFCON 2 next turn. Okay, tech. AMD, advanced logistics, long-range missiles, advanced manufacturing. Nothing. Whole lot of nothing. Yes, there are going to be some people at the Interior Department getting polygraphed and having a rather thorough examination. All right, next order of business is counterinsurgency in global operations. You'll recall PRF sent an insurgent into Zaire. So the Americans are... Now I'm wondering a second. This is the scenario 2 side of the board. I'm suddenly wondering if this insurgency is for the Americans to defend or for the Chinese. Logic would tell me that it's actually up to the Chinese to defend it, because it's their defense treaty minor. Well, I don't know. I went ahead and had the Americans defend it in Tanzania. So since this is the scenario 2 side of the board, I'll just keep going, and we'll discuss this in the group and decide how to proceed going forward. But I'm going to keep going with the way I have been. So, spending 2 and getting 1 free die with the advisor. Okay, no diplomacy for the Americans. Military aid. There's no purchase this turn because the Americans have spent every dollar they have left on military aid. And wait, no, they can't, because I can only do military aid to, I messed this up. I gotta redo my buys. What I did was I violated the region limit. I can only send military aid at peacetime to one faction in the Mideast region, and I've done it to Saudi Arabia, UAE, and Iran. So, and then I broke the rule again. I don't know what I was thinking. I broke the rule again with both South Africa and Egypt, so I got to redo this. Okay, now I got it straightened out. So, the Americans are going to send Iran a next-gen MBT for 6, because you all know that when they send military aid to Iran, there's a +1 premium attached to it. Then they're spending 9 with arms sales discount of 1 to send 2 next-gen MBTs to South Africa. And then for themselves, they're spending 11 on an ASF. Actually, that's going to be a Top Gun ASF and an A-10 and the remaining 4 on an SSN. Let me fix that Top Gun real quick. Okay, that's fixed. All right, now, combat. There is going to be a little bit of combat. We're going to do a repeat maneuver again. We're going to come in here. We've been sniping Somali Republic and picking them off a little bit. So we're going to do the same thing again. Got the fighter coming in on seed. We've got the Top Gun ASF escorting the attack bomber. The B-52 comes in from Diego Garcia to carpet bomb. And once again, we will have the SSN shoot. No, actually, this time we're going to spread the love around. This time we're going to have the SSN shoot its paracruise missiles into Tanzania. Change on the fly. I'm adjusting the U.S. missile inventory so it's correct. Okay, so that's going to be 2 surgical strikes here. We'll have spy satellite in the Somali Republic attack to give our planes full value. And then, of course, we have PGMs for the missiles in Tanzania. And then over here, U.S. Global Command is declaring war on Cuba. Yes, the regime of Fidel Castro, just 90 miles off of American territory, offends everyone. So there's a declaration of war on Cuba. So the task force on this card from A24 is 1-2 down here to A34. Nope, they'll have to come over to A33 because that's where the Marines were. So they're coming over here to A33. They're picking up the 2 Marines and they're delivering them to Cuba in an amphibious assault. There is an attack chopper on the amphib. This fighter, there's no SAMs on Cuba, but there is 1 fighter. So these guys are coming in from the carrier. They flew 1, 2, 3. These guys did to get into the attack. As long as we're all here having fun, the battleship and the cruiser are going to do shore bombardment on Cuba. And then, as I said, we got 2 Marines coming in amphibious assault, 2 airborne coming in airborne assault, 1, 2. 2 air cav coming in to join the attack. They flew 1, 2. And what the hell, get everybody in on the action. The B-52 is going to come down and carpet bomb. And I think that'll do it. Okay, so that's our combat action. So the first thing we're going to do in combat resolution is the counterinsurgency roll for Zaire. There it is. There's an 11. The Americans finally got one to go their way. And now that begs the question, well, as I said, we're going to have to talk about this in the group. So right now I'm just going to go with Right now, I'm going to go with putting American units in there, although everything inside me tells me that it should be Chinese. Anyway, I'm putting them in there. Okay, there we are. Like I said, it's everything in my brain is telling me this should be China. With, of course, Tanzania should be too, because like I said, well, no, it shouldn't. It's PRF. But earlier, Tanzania, I think, probably should have done the counterinsurgency role in here too. I did it automatically out of habit because I've never had a situation where anybody but U.S. Global was involved with going against PRF. These China zones in Africa hit me with a little wrinkle, but I'm just going to go ahead and be consistent and do it this way for now. And if it's not right, corrections can be made in the future. All right, so it's a good thing here that I have some U.S. early gen fighters painted up. So now we got the action over here. We'll do the cruise missile strike in Tanzania first. Since they're minors, they don't get to have missile defense. So, 2 cruise missiles coming in hot. And there's 2 hits, and since we have PGM, those are both target select. So, we're going to do the wise thing and select the 2 light infantry. Just take them right out of there. Okay, now we've got the surgical strike into Somali Republic, so the fighter is taking his seed shot. That is barely a miss with a 7. So, once again, the PRF SAM gets to fire air defense. And he misses. He had to have 2. Okay, so we've got the attack bomber and the B-52 carpet bombing. Oh, no scramble by PRF. That's a whole lot of nothing. Everybody missed. All right, so that's all done. Now, we're going to have the fight over here in Cuba. So let me get the auxiliary tray, because it's going to be closer to the action and there's a little more going on. Get a few dice. All right, so first strike. The only first strike we have here, we got the shore bombardments by the cruiser and the battleship. Those are first strike. 3s, but that won't get it. They needed 2s. All right, now there is, here, let me do this. Let me put the defenders right over here where you can see them. There, now you can see everybody better. So we got a field artillery defending first strike. And he gets a hit with a 1. So the Americans are going to have to lose I don't see why they couldn't take the airborne. The Americans are going to lose an airborne. Okay, there's that. All right. Now we are on to regular business. So we've got two ASFs in red and a fighter in orange on air superiority. There is one air hit. One air hit. Okay, now we have an airborne, carpet bombing. 3, 4. Carpet bombing B-52. There is a general hit. One air hit. One general hit. Now we're going to have an airborne at 3. Miss. 2 Marines at 4 with close air. No. 2 Marines at 3. Miss. We're going to give close air support to the air cav. 2 air cavs with close air support at 5. 1 hit. So it's 2 general hits. Now we got an attack chopper. Miss. Got an attack bomber. Miss. Okay, defenders. We have a fighter on air superiority. Cocked die. That's a miss. And then 3 light infantry. 2 hits. Okay, so the attacking air hit takes out the Cuban fighter. He's gone. Get the Americans an air battle star for that. And now 2 general hits take out the field artillery and 1 light infantry, leaving 2. The Americans have to take 2 hits. They're going to kill the other airborne, and they're going to kill the other airborne and 1 ASF. Okay, here we go, round 2. 2 Marines for 1 hit. 2 air cabs. Miss. Attack chopper. Miss. Fighter. There's the second hit that was needed. 2 light infantry defend, and both miss. So these guys are gone. The Americans capture Cuba. That gives them a land battle star. And let's get the roundel on there. There we go. Those guys over there out of the way. So we've got two Marines landing in here. And 2 air cabs. And I'm knocking all kinds of stuff over. Okay, so that is going to be Americans up 2 to 41. Oh, no. Got to do that separate. So they get 2 up there tracked separate, giving them a total of 41. Their escalation income is still at 39. There's the extra 2. All right, that's it for combat. Get this thing out of the way. Non-combat. All of this air is going to land back on their ships. The B-52 goes back where it came from. The this A-10 and this fighter are doing air redeployment. The A-10 air redeploys into Macau, and the fighter will air redeploy into South Africa. That's our 2 air redeployments we can do this turn. We got 3 next-gen MBTs. They are going to use strategic land movement and go 1, 2, 3 into Honduras. We've got defense treaties with all these guys, so we can move through their territory, and these guys can stop in Honduras. Since we are at DEFCON 3 and reinforcement of other factions is permitted at DEFCON 3. This fighter is going to fly 1, 2, 3 down to Honduras. No, actually it's not. Pull him back. He's going back to whichever one he was in. This ASF instead. Yeah, instead we're going to send the ASF down to Honduras. All right. The field artillery is going to use strategic land movement and go 1, 2 up here to northeast United States. This SAM will move to northeast United States. This SAM strategic land movement 1, 2 to northeast United States. This ASW chopper in A33 is going to shift its patrol station over here to A34. That's it for there for now. South Africa is going to move these two mechs to Southwest Africa. These two U.S. light infantry are going to move to Southwest Africa. This air all goes back where it came from. I got a window open over here and it's parting the curtains a little bit and got a ribbon of sunlight coming onto the map every now and then. Okay, I think that's it for non-combat. So now we place units. So the Top Gun ASF and the A-10 will both go here to Northeast United States. The SSN will go here to A-24. And that's that. So we need a recruitment roll for Iran. Seven won't do the job. So deliver military aid via the major port here in South Africa, 2 next-gen MBTs, via the minor port in Shiraz, next-gen MBT goes in there. All right, collect money. The Americans at 39 plus 2 is 41. Plus their 2 battle stars. Let's just get all this off here. $41 and 2 stars. Ozark Outpost. Over and out.